Alright, so I'm getting close to closing up this last wall in the kitchen, which is going to be where the kitchen sink is going to go, and this ends up being the only run of water pipes I need to do in the house that has to go on an exterior wall, so I'm not taking any chances at all with them freezing up in the wintertime. The goal with water pipes on exterior walls is to try and get as much insulation as possible behind the pipes, blocking it from the cold outside, and as little insulation as possible on the front of the pipes that would block it from the warm inside air. And that's somewhat difficult, especially with only the 2x4 framed wall, because it has just in general a lot less thickness to try and build up insulation in. But also with just fiberglass, it's hard to do because the pipes, you want to keep them close to the front end where the warm air is, and with this stuff being so soft, it's hard to get it placed nicely. So instead I've used this rigid styrofoam insulation, and I got it like long 1-inch sheets of it, and then cut it up and layered it so it's 3 inches here, which is more than the R12 of that that fiberglass. And then I've recessed out one area and put the pipes in with some pipe insulation around, but again, just intentionally split the insulation in half and only put it on the back end of the pipe. Also got tons of spray foam all around the perimeter of it, around there and inside that whole recessed area, so that I'm trying to just minimize as much airflow that would be running around inside that stud cavity in here. Also got lots of insulation or spray foam all inside around that outlet, so just trying to keep as much airflow from staying out of that area. The kitchen sink is actually going to go somewhere around here, but I didn't want to risk running the pipes any more than I needed inside the wall, so that's actually really important for here, because one, it's just underneath the window, which probably has some more cold draft, but also the wall cabinets are going to go here, so those cabinets also provide a bit of insulation from the warm room, which isn't great, and because they're 2x4 studs that are also load bearing, means I can't just drill the hole really nice and close to the room. I have to drill it closer to the center, which puts the pipes closer to the cold air. So here I'm just got the pipes just below the level where the countertop is going to be, so that they can then get outside of the cold wall as close as possible, and then I can run the pipes through the base cabinets that are going to be here. I also don't have any wall cabinets that are going on this wall. I'm only putting them on that wall, so that should hopefully keep this as exposed as possible to the room air instead. The other thing is I did try to estimate the total R value of the whole wall assembly, including the outside, based on the inside temperature. It's set at 18 or so on my thermostat, but this half of the house doesn't get a lot of heat until my ducting is done. So I'm getting like 15 degrees on here, and then it's around minus 12 or something out right now, and then it's actually on like somewhere in the middle there, it's around minus 1 or 2-ish I've been measuring. So based on the total temperature drop and the proportion of it that's on the inside here, and knowing that this fiberglass is ideally supposed to be R12, somewhere around estimated that the total insulation of the whole wall assembly is around R20, which roughly adds up because there's 1 inch of rigid foam on the outside, and that's somewhere around R4, and then the siding itself provides a bit of insulation, and there's also a little bit of wood. So there's roughly R20 in total, and ideally there should be only about R0.5 when the drywall goes up and covers that up, so that should be the only insulation. So it does put roughly, or over 90% of the R value on the cold side, which is good, and that should be able to get me to still hold above 0 even when it's minus 50 outside and only like 5 or 10 degrees Celsius inside.